Yeah. Well, I stopped right at...
Searching for her Japamala.
That's okay. It's trying to connect via Radharaman. Radhe Radhe. Okay, 2 people are watching, 4. So my point is being made. We're not trying for this difficulty, but the difficulty is coming anyhow. We have 3 phones, each with individual internet connection, plus a separate internet connection, which is supposed to be fast, and nothing is working properly. So this is the nature of this material world. Sometimes when it rains, it pours. So, I was coming to Sri, going beyond Vaikuntha. I will chant the prayer from Raghunath Das Goswami to Sri Sanatan Goswami. Vairaga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnair Payanam Mam Anubhikshamandam Kripambudirya Paradukuduki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Praying in the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Sanatan Goswamipada and Srila Gurudev, that may even a particle of the moods which they have presented within these pages manifest within our hearts. So yesterday, we were reading how Gopkumar had shed his material form and assumed a purely spiritual form. He appeared similar. He was in such a mood that he was even dressing similar to his nature. So he means his own internal, intrinsic, transcendental nature. So he shed his external material form, assumed a purely spiritual form, and like electricity, in a minute, crossed the 8 material coverings that had previously taken him millions of years to cross step by step. The denizens of the heavenly planets showered flowers on him as he passed by at great speed, and Lord Brahma and others offered obeisance to him. Because it is such an amazing thing, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained that to rescue even one jiva, one soul, from the fortress of Maya is infinitely more benevolent than constructing unlimited free hospitals. It means doing all sorts of charitable and, what is that word? Those persons who give in charity and help the poor and do all of these things. I forgot the word, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's better than constructing millions of hospitals. Why? Because constructing millions of hospitals and doing all kinds of charity work, it's nice, it helps people, but it doesn't help to remove them from samsara. It's like a temporary bandage. A temporary bandage on a material body. It doesn't remove your material body. It doesn't remove your material problems. So it's a temporary thing, but it doesn't really help us in terms of the soul's nature. So to actually extract one jiva from this fortress of Maya takes so much hard work, so much energy, hundreds of gallons of spiritual blood, as our acharyas would say. How much work goes in it? Srila Gurudeva Maharaj explained, he said, you cannot imagine how much endeavor goes to even rescuing one jiva. And he said, you cannot imagine the pain and the shock to the heart of Guru when that disciple that he's given so much to, that he struggled so much to help, has rejected his help and is going away from the path of bhakti. He said, you cannot imagine the shock which comes to him, to Guru, when that disciple leaves that path. Because it's such a great amount of work that's required to rescue one. So much so that Brahma and the higher demigods, they're offering obeisance to that person who is finally broken free, and they're showering flowers upon them. Crossing those 8 coverings, Gopkumar saw whatever happiness was available inside of them. So this is also something. We might see the happiness which is available, but it should not distract us. It should not attract our minds or our attention. It should not pull our hearts. We should be able to let it go. We should understand that this has no real value. The only value is Krishna. Once upon a time, there was one person, he wanted a lot of wealth, so he was praying to Lord Shiva. Praying and praying and praying. Lord Shiva manifested before him. And he told Lord Shiva, I want the greatest wealth. And Lord Shiva told him, oh, in Vrindavan, near Madan Mohan, there is one sadhu, Sanatan Goswami. You should go see him. This person became so happy and came running to Vrindavan to see Sri Sanatan Goswami. He told him of the message of Lord Shiva, that I did intense austerities, I prayed for the greatest wealth, I saw Lord Shiva and he told me that I should come and see you. Please, give me the greatest wealth. And Sanatan Goswami was thinking, this person wants material wealth. Let me think, do I have anything? He's like, I'm just a sadhu, I only have the clothes I'm wearing, and that's even half cloth. I don't have anything. You know, Sanatan Goswami was so materially poor, but spiritually rich. All he had to offer was atta, flour. He would mix it with a little water, no salt even, and he'd make a ball of dough, put that in the fire, and that's what he would offer. And that's what he would take every day. So there's a whole history behind that. But anyway, he was so simple. So he was like, I don't have anything. But Lord Shiva cannot be wrong. He's also a very dear friend of Sanatan Goswami. Because Sanatan Goswami could no longer go from Mathura to Vrindavan all the way to Govardhan and do parikrama. He loved to visit Chakleshwar Mahadev at Govardhan. But he could no longer do it due to his old age. He wants to be close to Sanatan Goswami. Why? Now it's live again. I wonder if I can flip it around.
Do you want me to grab it?
Nope. Oh. There we are. Radhe Radhe, can you see me? Hare Krishna. Sorry about this. It's easier for me if I don't have to keep standing up and going over there to adjust everything. So, I don't know where the camera... Oh, there's the camera. Okay. Sorry. Maybe not. There we go. Harmoniums. Oops, wrong way. Excuse me, I'm going to flip it over. Can you see it or not? Oh, rotate. You can't turn your phone. Okay. No. There. Haribol? Are you there? Hare Krishna?
It lags like...
What's wrong? Are they there? Is anyone there? Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna?
He said you can.
Is anyone there? Please say something. Ah, someone's waving. Radhe Radhe.
Everyone's seeing it.
Okay, good. See. So I'm going to try to do this so that you don't all get dizzy. Okay. Please forgive me. There, look, you have closer darshan of Thakurji, but it's backwards. Sorry. So, I was telling you about Sri Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami is very dear to Mahadev, so Mahadev sent this person to see him. Haribol Prasasya. Hare Krishna. So, Sanatan Goswami is like, Mahadev cannot be wrong. He must know that I have something. And then he remembered, oh yes, I have something in the rubbish pile. What was that? A touchstone. Touchstone means that stone is a special potency that anything you touch it to will turn to gold. So, Sanatan Goswami said, yes, you can have that. And this person became very excited. Where is it? Oh yeah, it's over there somewhere. I think I threw it over there in the rubbish bin. There was no rubbish bin. It's just where you throw the touchstones in Vrindavan. So Sanatan Goswami,
Sanatan Goswami had thrown that touchstone there, and that man ran to that place to get it. He grabbed it. He was so excited. He began dancing and touching things with it. And as he was moving away from Vrindavan with this touchstone, he was thinking, wait a second. No one gives something so valuable away so easily. If he's giving away a treasure like this so easily, it must be that he has something more valuable. So what did he do? He ran back to Sanatan Goswami. Oh, Sanatan Goswami, please, I know you have something even more valuable than this. I asked for the greatest treasure. Please give it to me. Sanatan Goswami said, okay, then you should go from here, go take a bath, throw that stone as far as you can into Jamuna River, take a bath, and then return. So the man was so eager, he followed Sanatan Goswami's instruction. Following Sanatan Goswami's instruction, what happened as a result? When he came back, he said, yes, please give me your greatest wealth. So Sanatan Goswami gave his greatest wealth. What was that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I know this is getting a little annoying. I'm going to put it back to this place. 1 second. And everyone can see still, right? It's easier for me if I don't have to hold it at the same time. Radhe Radhe. So Sanatan Goswami gave him Harinam. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Nama Chintamani. The holy name of Krishna is the greatest wealth. Any desire you have can be fulfilled. But more than that, it can actually fulfill the deepest desire, the deepest requirement and necessity of the soul. And that is for divine love of Krishna to be awakened. Who am I? Who is my prananath? Who is my beloved Lord, my Ishtadev? What is the relationship between us? How will I be able to serve Krishna? So this is the greatest wealth. Any wealth of this material world becomes insignificant in relation to that. Once there was one emperor, I believe it was Akbar, and he had heard of the greatness of the sadhus here, and he desired to do some seva, dham seva. So Sanatan Goswami told him, there's one crack in the step at Keshighat, you can go and fix that. And he's like, don't you understand? I have all the wealth in all of India. I can do so much. Sanatan Goswami said, just that is enough. But he blessed him to have darshan of the dham. Just that much. When he went to replace it, he realized it was more valuable than millions of treasures of this world. And he went back to Sanatan and he said, with all the wealth in my control, I cannot even fix that. So how valuable is Chintamani? One particle of dust of Vrindavan, our Gurudev said, has more Aishvarya, it means opulence, than millions of Vaikuntha planets combined. Can you imagine that? More Aishvarya in one particle of dust of Vrindavan. But the madhurya, the sweetness is so great that you cannot recognize that Aishvarya. And then he explained that in Radha Kund, in one particle of dust at Radha Kunda, there is more Aishvarya than in all of the dust of Vrindavan combined. That is the depth of the transcendental ecstasy that is present at Radha Kund. So I remember a few days ago, I had asked a question, if somebody had to undergo some material difficulty, like accepting an injection, in order to be able to come to Vrindavan, would we do that? What is our goal? What is the goal of our process of Rupanuga Guru Bhakti? Rupanuga Bhakti. What is the goal? So, Vaikuntaj Janito Vara Madhupari Tatrapi Rasotsavat Vrindaranyamudar Ramana Tatrapi Govardhana Radha Kunda Mihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Plavana Kuryat Asya Virajato Giritate Sevam Viveki Naka. This is where Rupa Goswami starts really delineating what our goal is, especially in this life as a sadhak, what we should do and where we should do it. What kind of bhajan, what kind of
sadhana, and where that bhajan, sadhan bhajan should be performed. So he explains, and you can visualize it like concentric circles. Vaikuntha janito. More than Vaikuntha is Mathura Puri, means the land of sweetness. That includes Vrindavan, means all of Brajamandal. Vaikuntha janito vara madhupuri, means more concentrated sweetness. Tatrapi rasotsavat vrindaranyam. Thereafter, because of the presence of the rasa dance which took place here, Vrindavan is considered even more transcendentally sweet and full of divine ecstasy. But more than that, Vrindaranyam udarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhana. But more than Vrindavan, means within Vrindavan, more concentrated is Govardhan. Why? Because Krishna lifted Govardhan on his little finger. Udarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhana. And it is the place of so many very beautiful, sweet and intimate pastimes of Krishna. But then he says, Rupa Goswami says this in the 9th verse of Sri Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. Radha kundam ihapi gokulapate premamrita plavanat. But within Govardhan, the highest concentrated transcendency, where Radha and Krishna are experiencing the most bliss, and where the seva offered to them is also increasing that bliss infinitely. That is Radha Kunda, where there is an overwhelming deluge of divine love, prem. Prema Amrita, the nectar of divine love, the nectar of prem. Prema Amrita Plavanat. And then Rupa Goswami says, Kuryar asya virajato giritate sebam viveki nakaha. You show me that intelligent person, viveki. Show me that intelligent person who would not want to reside on the bank of Radhakund at the foot of Giriraj, performing his sadhan bhajan, doing his service to Radha and Krishna 24 hours a day. You find me that intelligent person. And the next two verses also are glorifying Sri Radha and Sri Radha Kunda, number 10 and number 11. So this has all been given to us. It's a very clear map. Why am I telling this? Because here we've seen that Gop Kumar has seen all other kinds of wealth. He's crossed the 8 coverings and saw whatever happiness was available inside them. But he cannot be attracted to them because he has experienced true transcendental bliss. Like Sri Jamunacharya, he stated, after having tasted the nectar of Krishna Bhakti Rasa, after having tasted that, when any thought or remembrance even of material sensual enjoyment comes or has come into my mind, immediately my lips curl with distaste and I spit at that thought. We can imagine, like, if we are starving and we're desperate and we have to dig through the garbage to eat something. That's a desperate, starving situation, and you may have to accept things which are really very unpalatable. Sometimes you see some animals that normally wouldn't, but they have to eat stool because that's all they have to eat. And it's a very sad situation to see it, but it means they are so desperately hungry that they will consent to even eat that to stay alive. In this material world, it is considered that we are like worms eating stool. This is everything of this material world. Srila Prabhupada told that to Srila Gurudev. He said, I was sitting alone in the park, chanting Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I saw the most amazing miracle. Prabhupada told our Gurudev, the most amazing miracle I saw. He said, normally you see worms entering into stool. He said, but I saw the worms leaving that stool and becoming devotees, throwing their arms in the air and chanting the holy names of the Lord. What an amazing miracle is that? No, they asked Prabhupada, what is your miracle? And he said, oh, I don't do any cheap tricks, I don't have anything like that. But my miracle is this,
that so many persons who are absorbed in material energy, only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, they have come out of that and they become devotees of Krishna and they want to love and serve Krishna. So his miracle was that he was making hippies into happies. The point I'm making is that once one has actually tasted real bhakti ras, once one has had darshan of Krishna or Krishna's transcendental associates, real darshan, there is no way one can be attracted to the things of this material world. That is a symptom. If one is attracted to the things of this material world, it is symptomatic that their supposed darshan that they had previously was actually just utsahamai, false enthusiasm. Like when we were little. Not so little. Before we had accepted Guru in our life, and after having lost faith in so many authorities and gurus, we were in the temple doing kirtan. And I mean, this was years and years and years ago. Teenagers, right? So we would do all sorts of nonsense activities. We would have fun and play around and do nonsense. When we would go to the temple and do kirtan, we were like, oh my God, did you see Krishna? It looked like he was moving, he was dancing. Did you see him smiling at me? All of these things that come. And we think, I had darshan of Krishna smiling at me and dancing. And the next moment, right after the Sunday feast, we would all go to the movies together. This is not symptomatic of having real darshan of Krishna. This is symptomatic of sahajya. I'm pretending, or utsahamai, some false enthusiasm, but it's not real darshan. Real darshan would mean that there is nothing that can distract me anymore because I have seen the truth. I have seen Krishna. I have experienced that nectar. I'm being given 3 plates of the most wonderful Mahaprasad, fresh, every day. Why would I go back to eating stool? It's not possible for someone who is tasting Krishna Bhakti Ras to be attracted to this material world. The proof of whether one is a real pure devotee or not is that for whom the material world holds no charm whatsoever. Srila Prabhupada writes this, he tags it on to the last part of the verse, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam Shade Parecha Nishnatam Brahmanyupa Samashrayam. What are the qualifications of Sri Guru? Who is completely 7% dedicated to Parabrahma Sri Krishna, who knows all Shastra and can remove all of your doubt through the medium of Shastra. But the most important thing is he is completely dedicated 7% to Krishna, Krishnaika Sharana. And because of that, the material world holds no charm for him whatsoever. That kind of person can also rescue us from the clutches of this material world. So Gop Kumar saw all of it, but he had no attraction to it. Very easily he was able to cross it. As you mentioned yesterday, Bhavam Budir Vatsa Padam Param Padam. As easy as it is to cross over the water in a hoof print of a calf, if one surrenders to Krishna, Samashrita Ye Padapallavaplavam, and takes shelter of Krishna's pure devotees, Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare, who bring us, who awaken our transcendental serving mood toward Krishna. So Brahmalok consists of 2 sections. The upper part is called Sadashiva Lok. Sadashiva Lok. And the lower part is called Siddhalok, which is the destination given to the demons who are personally killed by Bhagavan. Siddhalok is the destination given to the demons who are personally killed by Bhagavan. How merciful is he? The impersonalists also attain this destination after meditating on the formless light for millions of years. That is called Sayujya Mukti. After meditating on the formless light for millions of years, one can attain the destination of Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya means merging. Just remember,
The soul can never really truly merge. It only thinks it has, or it goes into a deep state of unconscious sleep. Our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj very adamantly declared that this idea of Brahmanand means the bliss of merging into Brahm is actually simply illusion. Why? Because if you become something, and if you're in a state of deep sleep, means like anesthetized sleep. This is what Srila Prabhupada called it. Like deep anesthetized sleep, right? They give you inoculations or injections when they're going to do surgery and remove some part of your body. So much so that you are completely not aware of what's happening to your body or anything. And they can remove a foot or a leg and you wouldn't even realize it or know it. So Prabhupada, he writes in a letter to Jagadish Maharaj that we were in a state of deep anesthetized sleep known as Susupti. So what is the meaning of Brahma Ananda at that point? That's why our Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he says, this idea is just illusion. For you to think that you are going to become something and then experience, or become one with everything, and then experience something separate from that known as bliss. It doesn't make sense. In order to experience something, you need to have a variation from it. So in order to taste ras malai, you need to have taste buds. In order to experience the sweetness of sugar, your tongue must not be made of sugar. It must have receptors to be able to detect the sweetness. And that's where variation comes from. That's why the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna, expands himself unlimitedly, because he is the source of and the taster of all rasa. Raso Vaisaha, Akila Rasamrita Murti. Even if the Lord, Narayan, offers Sayuja Mukti to any of his devotees, they will never accept it. That's not what is said here. I just spoke it, remembering it. The lower part, this Siddhalok, where Sayuja Mukti is attained, is also known as Mahakalapuram, or Sayuja Lok, by the sages. This Mahakalapuram is where Krishna took Arjuna to retrieve the son of the Brahmana. Interesting. I had not read ahead yesterday, but still that katha manifested. So Krishna brought Arjuna to retrieve the son of the Brahman. There he met that form of Vishnu, who was so greedy to have darshan of the beautiful face and form of Krishna. When Gopkumar was at this Siddhalok, he saw that it was like a very deep river where one remains submerged in Brahman for some time and then rises up again. Sorry. Like a deep river where one remains submerged for some time but then rises up again. By chanting his Gopal mantra, he would come up, but then by the influence of the lower world, he would again be submerged. This is a very important instruction for all of us. If we get trapped in a situation like that, and I'm using the word trapped for a good reason, we can be trapped in a situation like merging, apparently merging, or seeming merging into the Brahma Jyoti for millions and trillions of years, devoid of the opportunity to serve Krishna. From the perspective of any pure Vaishnava who is a bhakta, who understands the nature of the soul is to love and serve Krishna. The idea of being bereft of serving Krishna for millions and trillions of years is like hell for them. So they've all warned us, stay away, steer away from that, do not go there. Just like we heard in the beginning, Mahadev was telling this Brahmin, whom Gopakumar is speaking to, Mahadev told him, don't go there, go away from there, go the other way, go to Vrindavan. Don't go to that place. It won't be good for you. As we told before,
Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahename. Yugaitam nimeshena. One moment of separation. Separation means of being not able to serve Krishna. One moment of that feels like millions of yugas. That separation from the perspective of a devotee is like hell. Millions of years. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishaitam. The entire universe seems vacant in the absence, in separation from one's beloved Lord and service to the Lord. So Mahaprabhu says, stay far away from that conception. Mayavana bhasa shuneli, hoi sarvanash, all of your inclination toward bhakti, toward Krishna, can be destroyed if you're even entertaining these conceptions. These days, devotees readily mix so often with all of these different conceptions, and we can easily think, this won't affect me, this won't touch me. What? What about it? So I'm going to share something with you that our Gurudev shared with us. Once upon a time, I've told it before, but quite a while back, many years ago, we were invited to do a kirtan. In Europe, it was like a mini bhakti fest where many different groups come together. And the devotee who arranged it told us that they already communicated with our Gurudev about it, and that he gave his permission, his blessing for us to be part of it. So we thought, okay, great. And there were going to be about 5 or 6 different groups. So we just wondered, because we were supposed to do kirtan and support their kirtan, and they were supposed to support our kirtan. Everyone was going to be on stage, but then different groups would lead their kirtans. And we were supposed to support their kirtan. So we just wanted to know in advance if we could get a list of the kirtans that some of the others would be singing. And a list of one of the groups, or 2 of the groups, came. And the list had all of the different chants of the Mayavads. Soham, Shivoham, Tattvamasi, so many, one after another, after another, after another. And we were thinking, I'm not sure that our Gurudev would approve of us participating in that kirtan. So immediately we went to the internet cafe. At that time, that's what you had to do. And we sent an email to Gurudev. He was in India at the time. Normally, response would come back within 2 weeks. This response came back while we were still in the cafe within half an hour. And it said, because it has already been arranged, Srila Gurudev said, you can go. But one thing, you cannot use Mahaprabhu's instruments in their kirtan. That includes your clapping, your hands, or any of the instruments, and it also includes your voice. Because your voice is also an instrument for Mahaprabhu. You cannot use Mahaprabhu's instruments in that kirtan. But try not to offend them. He said, put them down when they do their kirtan. Put the instruments down and don't participate, but try not to offend. He said, then, if they ask you why, then kindly explain our siddhanta to them. So we were like, oh my God, okay. So we told the organizer, this is what our Gurudev said. She became very upset. She was really crying. Why did you talk to him? We said, because he's our Gurudev. We had a doubt, and it is our duty to approach our Gurudev when we have a doubt. And it is our right as well. No, she was like, everything is ruined, everything is ruined. So she told the other groups that we would not participate. Sure enough, all of the other groups had pulled out. And only our group remained. So we still went to do the program as we normally would. And so many people showed up. And the first question that came up was, where are all the other groups? And we explained about mantra, the power of mantra, why we chant mantra, what is its purpose, what is its goal, that we don't just chant any normal mantras. Any general mantra, because every mantra has power and potency. And so we explained why we chant particular mantras and what its purpose and function is.
from that one particular meeting, although our Gurudev was coming to Europe, I think 2 or 3 months later, I think maybe 10 people from that meeting came to see our Gurudev. And they said, we just want to receive the blessing or the darshan of the saint. So they came to see him. Point is, our Gurudev explained that we can't even use these instruments in that kirtan. And that kirtan includes, especially for those who are devotees of Krishna, who have taken shelter of a real guru, especially in the path of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that kirtan that we should not participate in includes Hare Krishna kirtan done by those persons who are of the Mayavad conception. All of our Guru Varga have explained, and maybe someone can post the shlok, that kirtan or that katha, even if it is full of Krishna, but because the mood of the person who is giving it is actually not favorable to the service of Krishna, but they want to merge in or be God, in a sense. They want to merge. That Radha is illusion, that love is illusion, and that the form of God as Krishna is illusion. This is what they say. Everything is illusion. So they only take that form for now and use it as a crutch to enter into their state of non-existence or one existence. So this is considered aparad to Krishna. And taking that kirtan from them, whether it is Harikatha or mantra kirtan, is considered like milk touched by the lips of a serpent. It looks like milk. It is milk. It tastes like milk. It feels like milk. It goes down your throat like milk and into your stomach like milk. But if it is touched by the lips of a serpent, even though you cannot realize it or understand it, it can have a poisonous effect. And that poisonous effect for us, aspiring bhaktas, means those who want to develop love and service for Krishna. What is the poisonous effect? Hoi sarvanash. Our desire and inclination for bhakti, this will be cut. This will be destroyed. So it's imperative that for those who are actually sincere to move forward on the path of devotion to Krishna, that we are so careful with our association. To think, I can do this, I can handle this, I can handle that. We should not dare Maya or dare the material energy. The idea of someone who is denying Radha, this is against Radha or apa-radha. Krishna takes it personally, like an arrow to his own heart. This is what it says in Shastra. That those who are chanting the name of Krishna and or speaking the glories of Krishna, but they deny Radha, they actually deny the form of Krishna really, and they deny the love and affection between the devotee and Krishna. Krishna takes it personally, and for Krishna it is like an arrow to his own heart, or thunderbolt to his heart. So all of our acharyas, our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, they're very, very strong in their warning to us. Don't think it is not dangerous. It is very dangerous, and it can stop our progress for what can be like millions and trillions of lifetimes where we can get stuck. Maybe what we've already developed in bhakti, that might be fine. It won't go away, but it won't be able to grow, and we can become stunted, stuck for millions and trillions of lifetimes without the possibility of parole for a long time. It's like prison, a prison where you cannot get out of. And there is no telling when one can come out of that. So it is considered very, very dangerous, very, very feared. And sometimes the word is used, even hated. This idea of going in that direction. Mahaprabhu talks about it also. He's giving instructions, I can't remember to whom at the moment, but he's saying he's talking about the 4 different directions. Don't go to the west, Don't go to the south. Don't go to the north. You should go to the east, where you can find or awaken bhakti. One of those directions, maybe it was the north, the realm of the jnanis. South was darkness, the snakes and the ghosts and all tamagun things. West was materialism and all sorts of other things. And the jnanis whose goal is to merge with the impersonal Brahma, with the Brahma Jyoti. That Mahaprabhu was also saying, don't go there. Go to the east, east represents where you can awaken your innate nature of devotion, of love and affection to Krishna. So I was making the point that so many devotees, they don't understand how dangerous it really is. And so they flirt with that danger by exposing themselves to that. But all of our shastras are telling us that association, sangha, is the most important thing. By good association, one can become eventually like Sri Guru, pure devotee of the Lord. And by unfavorable association, even the son of Varahadev and Bhumi Devi became known as Narak Asur, or the demon from hell, because of associating with demons, or those with demonic qualities. So, our Gurudev wrote a letter to all the devotees begging us, my dear sons and daughters, my dear disciples, please, I'm begging you, whatever you do, don't take that kind of association. And then he warned us, I remember it was in Govardhan in either 1996 or 98, he warned us very strongly. He said, we should be very careful. There are some persons, some Mayavadis, who, for every shlok we tell, they can tell 100 shlokas, and then 100 for each of those, and they can run circles around us with tattva siddhanta. And they will speak in such a way, Krishna Katha, that thousands of persons in their audience will be weeping and crying. And in the end, they will say, it's all one. In the end, they'll say it's all one. He said, don't be fooled. Just because someone has amazing expert capacity and ability, be very, very careful. Be very careful. It can destroy our inclination in bhakti and trap us for millions of years. So what is one of the most beneficial ways? Always take shelter of Harinam Prabhu. Always surround oneself with Vaishnavas. Follow the instructions of the devotees of Krishna. And here Gopkumar is showing one should take shelter of their mantra. Because of the power of his mantra, he was coming out of that. His mantra itself was bringing him out of that situation. So if we take shelter of those mantras, here this mantra which Gopkumar was chanting is Gopal mantra. He would remain submerged for some time and then rise up again by the chanting of his Gopal mantra. But then again he would go back under. So by the power of these mantras, by the power of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by the power of our Diksha mantras, we can talk about that tomorrow. Diksha mantras and Harinam. Why are we chanting Diksha mantras if we have Harinam? Don't we only need Harinam? So remind me, we can talk about that tomorrow. But he would come up and again become submerged, looking upon this formless void with abhorrence. Very strong word, abhorrence. He proceeded up from Siddhalok to Sadashivalok by the power of his mantra. He was so consistent with it and he didn't give it up no matter what. This is important. It is imperative that what our gurus have given us, our Diksha mantras and Harinam, that we don't reject them or give them up or become neglectful. Otherwise, it is a great possibility that we can become sidetracked and then very strongly distracted. There's a saying in English, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So conviction, Shraddha, Nishta, strong conviction that I will not give this up, is also an essential part of our progress and enthusiasm on the path of bhakti. If we maintain that nishchaya, utsaha nishchaya dharya, that conviction, that firm determination,
This is not only pleasing to our Gurudev and Krishna, but it is so beneficial to us. So Gopkumar, by the power of his mantra, was able to come out. I remember reading in one version of Brihad Bhagavatamrita that by the power of his mantra, because he continuously chanted his mantra, his Gopal mantra, he was able to see a dim glimpse of the toe of Vishnu, which acted like a fishhook and pulled him out. It was one version of Brihad Bhagavatamrita that I wrote. But otherwise, you would just be only within that light. It is said that if one merges into the body of the Lord from there, there's no escape. That is even more feared and more dangerous. But it is sometimes possible that any pure devotee is moving from one point to another. Before approaching the Lord, they move through the Lord's effulgence. That makes sense. And wherever they're glancing in all directions, that glance and the saffron particles emanating from that pure devotee liberates those jivas from Brahmajyoti. Does that make sense? You get liberation from what is considered to be liberation, because there's something beyond it. Brahmajyoti, or merging into the white light, or the nirvana, or the effulgence of the Lord, is not the eternal resting place for any jiva, because it is devoid of the jiva's nature, which is to serve Krishna. Jiver swarupahoy Krishner nityadas. But just as we have been bound in this material world since time without beginning, that is why it is called nityabadha, eternally bound, so someone can also be, means any jiva can be apparently eternally bound in the Brahmajyoti. So it is by the great mercy of the Vaishnavas, as they're moving from place to place, like Narada Muni, as Prabhupada called him, the transcendental spaceman, moving from place to place, traveling everywhere from one place to the next and going to all of Krishna's pastimes and all of Krishna's abode, vibrating on his veena and chanting Radharamana Haribol, chanting the names of Radharaman. Narada Muni Bajai Veena Radhika Ramana Name, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By the presence of the pure devotee, one is liberated from that kind of stagnancy, some kind of purgatory, where you're just, not purgatory, what is it called? You know what I mean. That in between, where you're just stuck in a suspended state of animation, not even realizing that you exist. Devoid of service to Krishna, like Hanumanji said, if any liberation was offered to me where I was devoid of the ability to serve my Prabhu Ram, I would never accept that. This verse is written in Padyavali. It is there. Srila Rupa Goswami presented this as evidence for avoiding that. So always taking shelter of Sri Guru, being very careful for our association. If we actually want to progress in the path of bhakti, if we have faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, faith in Krishna, where he says, "Fools deride me when I descend in my human form. They do not know my divine nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. Avajananti ma mudha manushintaramashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram." They don't understand that my birth, my activities in this world are all transcendental and divine. But one who does understand that and accepts that in truth, they will never have to take birth in this material world again. This material world of birth and death. Janma karmaccha me divyam evam yoveti tatpataha tyakvam deham punarjanma naiti mam eti sorjuna. So Krishna himself uses this choice word for those who think that his form is the product of illusion or the product of Maya. That is why we call it Mayavad, the idea that when Brahm, the absolute oneness, takes a form, it is only a product of illusion, it is not real. Or when the one Brahm takes form as a jiva, that it is illusion, or the one Brahm manifests love or relationship between the jiva or any other divine personality and God, that it is all illusion. Krishna himself says, Brahmanohi pratishta aham. I am the source of this imperishable Brahm. And Sri Ishapanishad also says, there the devotee is praying to the Lord, please remove your dazzling effulgence so that I can see you. And everywhere Krishna is saying, aham, aham, aham. I, a person, am the source of this imperishable Brahma Jyoti, this imperishable divine light. That is my energy. He is the source of that. So those persons who think that his form, when he manifests in this world, is a product of Maya, in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna says, those persons who think it is a product of Maya, they are mudha. Mudha means in Hindi, muruk. Muruk in English means fools. So Krishna himself uses this word. In other words, we don't want to be foolish. We want to become humble servants of Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. So we should accept the instructions of Krishna, accept the advice and the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and our Guru Varga if we want to walk the path of auspiciousness from now into perfection. Shri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gop Kumar ki jai, Rupanand Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So I didn't leave any room for questions today. Is it still on?
Yeah.
But if anyone has any questions related to the subject which I just spoke, because it is quite heavily discussed in all of our Guru Varga's works. In fact, our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he compiled an entire book known as Mayavad Ki Jivani, or Victory Over Mayavadism, and it has been translated into English as Beyond Nirvana. Beyond Nirvana. And he's given all sorts of amazing arguments. Of course, anyone who has read Srila Prabhupada's purports knows that Srila Prabhupada, he has preached very strongly against Nirvishesh and Shunyavad. So those two words in this pranam mantra aren't like, Nirvisheshi, Shunyavad. Nirvishesh means those who are striving to merge into and become God, and Shunyavad means those who are striving to cease to exist completely and become nothing. So both of those ideas he has come to defeat. Namaste Saraswati Deve. I'm offering my pranam unto the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, who is preaching all over the world the essence of the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is known as Gauravani, who is preaching this, who is cutting Nirvishesh, the ideas which bring one toward Brahm, merging into Brahma Jyoti, and Shunyavad, the ideas that bring one toward becoming nothing, ceasing to exist, Paschatya Desha Karine. And he is preaching it throughout the entire world, in every country of the world. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So if anyone has any questions about this subject, you can write them down and tomorrow we can discuss them some more. And please forgive us for we're not in control of what happens with the internet here, but forgive us for any difficulty. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
So thank you all for being with us today, for participating, for bearing with our internet problems, and just for giving us the encouragement that you have been giving. Our Gurudev many years ago ordered us to travel and preach and inspire on his behalf, and you are giving us the opportunity to continue following his order, even though we are stranded in our rooms. So we are completely indebted and so thankful for that. So just thank you very much. Also, our good friend Sachi Sutta is going to be singing on that, what is it called? Festival of the Holy Name Global Pandemic Krishna Kirtan page on Facebook in
15 minutes.
10 minutes. 15 minutes. He'll be coming on, and so if we can all get on there and support him and sing with him, we like to do kirtan with him and sing with him, so you're all welcome to attend. Once again, it's called Festival of the Holy Name Global Pandemic Kirtan. That's the name of that page, and he'll be coming on live. It's 24-hour kirtan, Hare Krishna kirtan going on at different locations throughout the world. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.